A good turkey vest can make an enormous difference in your experience in the spring chasing turkeys. So in this video, we're gonna look at 3 of TideWe's turkey vests, compare them against each other to help you pick out the best one for your turkey hunting style. And if you guys wanna check out their website, use code NSO18 at checkout, save your guys selves some money. Let's jump right in. So the 3 turkey vests that we're gonna look at are their run and gun. This is more of their minimalist turkey vest. There's more of the middle of the road one that has more features. It's a little bit bigger. Then we have this one, which is the biggest. It actually has built-in kickstand, so you have a place to sit back even if you don't have a tree to lean against. And this one is packed full of features, but we'll run all the way through them, starting with the run and gun vest. So starting with the run and gun turkey vest, this is set up basically how I would have it if I was out in the woods turkey hunting. And this doesn't have nearly as much storage as the other 2 vests, but that's by design. This is a minimalist turkey vest. This is meant to be for running and gunning, meant for fast moving, chasing toms on public land, running around in the woods. But on the back, it has this quick deploy seat. It has a built-in magnet. It just snaps back up there super quick. So if you need to set up in a short amount of time, you just drop that. Oh, turkey pivoted, you want to make a move on them, you snap that up there, you can run. One thing I really like about this turkey vest, and it's something that I am planning to use a ton, is this thermocell holder. I hate turkey hunting and getting covered in mosquitoes, especially later in the spring. Having this built in is super nice. You're not gonna lose your thermocell. I can't tell you how many times I've personally lost thermocells in the woods, and I've also picked up a couple on public land because other people have dropped them, lost them. This way your thermocell is secure. It's keeping bugs away from your face and in your immediate vicinity. And if you've never used a thermocell before, they definitely work. I use them early season deer hunting. I use them late season turkey hunting. Awesome thing to have with you in the woods. And on the side, there's 2 little slots. On one side, I would put my fuel canister, and on one side, I would put the extra pads that go with the thermocell, so that way if you're out there all day long, you have plenty of fuel to keep those bugs at bay. On this side, another feature that I really like is this magnetic pot call pocket. So you have your call, slate call, glass call, whatever, you put it in there, and it just snaps shut. Dead silent, no zippers, no Velcro. And you just tuck that in there and you're good to go. And that is not going to open on you unless you actually pull the tab and open it. And then it has a little mesh pouch for if you want to drop your diaphragm call into it. And then we have the box call pocket right there. And it has a nice secure bungee with a hook, so that way your box call is not going to be falling out on you. On the other side here, there is a zipper pocket. There's some molly webbing. And here's where I would probably keep some extra shells. The one thing I think is missing from this vest, which I've found a way to overcome, is there's not a designated spot for your strikers, but there are these pockets that go under, behind kind of the front pockets, and I'm able to fit 2 or 3 strikers in there just fine. So that is now the designated striker pocket. And then on the other side, I have an owl call and a crow call, so I have those locator calls with me when I need. If you unclip it on the inside, there's also some additional pockets, so whether you want to drop your gloves in there or a face mask, just so you're never without, you can do that. And then on the way back, it doesn't have a game bag, it actually has a mini backpack, which I kind of like. So this way you can throw in some extra layers, snack, toilet paper, whatever you want. You can put a water bottle on the side, you can put a water bottle in the main compartment, but it's basically a backpack on the back of this vest. It is hydration bladder compatible, so you can put a 2-liter hydration bladder in there, and it has the port on the front there. So all in all, this is a nifty little bag, and I plan on, if I'm going to be running around on public land here in Ohio, there's a good chance I'll be using this. Also has a little bit of orange flagging on the back, so if you are on public land, whether you had a successful hunt or not, try not to get shot. But this is the minimalist design. Again, has that magnetic drop away seat right there. Really, really nifty, and one that I definitely recommend if you're somebody that likes to be super mobile and is not worried about carrying a turkey in a game bag on the back of your vest. And right now, I'm sure the prices will fluctuate based off what sales they have going on, but at the time of making this video, this turkey vest is $70, I believe, $69.99 on their website. So check it out. And again, if you use the code NSO18, save yourself some money there. So next up, we have more of that middle of the road turkey vest. This one's gonna have a lot more storage, a lot more configurations that you can do with your gear compared to the run and gun one. Again, that's a minimalist design. This one is good if you're gonna be out running around. You need to have more things with you. You're not quite as worried about being super agile. And also it does have a game bag on the back. So if that's something that's a must have, this is the turkey vest for you. But I'll show you how I have this thing set up. One thing about this vest is it does not have that designated thermocell pocket, although I'm guessing this pocket was made for a thermocell because it fits perfectly, but you're not gonna want it running while it's in that pocket. Slides in there perfectly. It does have a slot for a couple strikers right above it, so that way they're readily available. This one does not have the magnetic pot call holders, but if that's not a big deal to you, which it's a nice to have, it's not a must have by any means. To do a zipper like that, it's not that big of a deal. And then it does have a little elastic if you want to drop in a mouth call there. On the other side, we have our designated box call pocket. You just undo that little latch right there, boom. Box call is good to go. Then you just drop it in there. And you're able just to cinch this down. So depending on what size your box call is, you just tighten this down and that's gonna keep it nice and tight. And then you have this pocket here, which I have my locator calls in, but you can see you can also put your strikers in that pocket. If you don't wanna deal with this Velcro pocket, or you just don't want your strikers horizontal in your vest, boom, boom. They'll slide right in there. But if you want them completely separate from anything else that you got in that pocket, you can put them up here again. On this side, you got this big old pocket, opens wide open. And you can put shotgun shells in here, you can put gloves, hat, sandwich, water bottle, basically anything that you can need in there. Extra batteries, a headlamp. On this side, you have an identical pocket. You can see I have my shotgun shells right here, but there's a lot of storage room. So again, if you're looking for a vest that is gonna allow you to be in the field longer with more gear and has a game bag, this is probably the one for you. And then if that much storage wasn't enough, this pocket right here opens up to this entire panel size of this vest. So you can slide more things in there, and then same thing on this side. Tons and tons of room. Then if you open up the vest, there's 2 additional zippered pockets here if you want to put gloves, hat, snacks, whatever, and then a couple pockets for your mouth calls. On this side, you have 2 additional pockets for mouth calls, and then 1 big dump pouch there. And then to deploy the seat, you just drop this down. It has that anti-slip material on the bottom, so it's going to stay in place. And then as soon as you're ready to move, you just fold that up, find those magnets, and you're ready to go. Again, you just drop it down to deploy. When you're done, find those magnets, you can hear them lock in like that. On the back, there is kind of a backpack portion of this if you wanted to just stuff an extra jacket in there, some gloves, whatever supplies you need to make it through the day. And then you can unclip this back part and you have this giant game bag to carry a turkey out. If you want to use it to carry your decoys into the field, that's a good option as well. And it's got that waterproof material that you'll be able to just hose out, clean any blood off with no problem. It does have a hydration bladder pocket fit right here and a port for the hose to come out, and then we'll clip on right there. And then although it's not a lot of orange, it does have a little bit of orange flagging that Velcro's down there. So whether you're running around in public land, private land, maybe somebody sees you a little bit easier and doesn't shoot you in the butt. Then it can just tuck away into that pocket and you're good to go. But this is a really solid vest coming in right around that $100 price point. Again, I think the prices fluctuate based off what sales they have going on, but make sure you use that code NSO18, hopefully save you some money there. But all in all, a really solid vest. Lastly, we have the Taj Mahal of turkey vest. This is one of the most feature-rich vests I've ever used. But again, you can configure this one in a lot of different ways, but I'll show you how I have it set up right now. So this one does have that designated thermocell pocket. So it just has a little piece of elastic. Your thermocell can run right in there. This mesh allows it to breathe and be able to pump out the stuff to keep all the mosquitoes away. You have the magnetic pot call pockets. I really like that. They feel very secure. They're not going to fall out if you have to run after a turkey, and it's dead silent opening and closing. You have these little elastic pockets to drop a mouth call into. You have the designated box call pocket. It slides in there super easy, and depending on how big your box call is, you can actually cinch this down a little bit just to make sure that it's going to ride nice and tight in there. On the other side, you have a pocket for your strikers and designated slots for those, so that way they're not bumping against each other making noise as you're moving through the woods. And then on the inside, you have those same big pockets as the last one. So on one side, I would carry my locator calls. You could fit a lot of stuff in there. You could fit more shotgun shells, you could fit toilet paper, snacks. You could probably put a water bottle in there if you want. And then you have an identical pocket on the other side, and this is where I got my shotgun shells. So lots of room for storage, but that's not all, there's more. So basically the entire size of this vest panel, you can go in these pockets right here and put hat, gloves, snacks. I take a lot of snacks with me apparently because I keep saying snacks. Again, this vest is super customizable as far as size goes. It does have this little bit bigger waist belt, which I appreciate because since this one has the kickstand, it's a little bit heavier. So it might not be great if you're running around on public land all day, but I will say that this waist belt takes that weight off of your shoulders, puts it more on your hips, like if you were wearing a backpacking backpack. And they're not even comparable as far as weight goes. Obviously, this vest is a lot lighter than a backpack loaded down with stuff. But then on the inside, you have multiple pockets for mouth calls. You have a giant zipper dump pouch down here, and you have two different ones here, so you can have kind of individual slots. But the back is why this one is so cool. So just like the other two, it has the magnetic drop down seat, so you can just put it back up there and it's out of the way for you to move. But if you're on uneven ground or if you're hunting a place that doesn't have a tree to sit against, I have some places in mind specifically where it's a field edge, there's a lot of small saplings and brushy stuff, but there's not a great place to lean against a big tree or something like that. I need a place to be able to sit down. But this kickstand goes out, these legs extend, and it gives you a really nice angle. Basically the same angle as if you were kind of leaning against a tree. Put your shotgun up on your knee. You could probably actually bow hunt using this setup right here, but I've never tried that, so I won't try to speak to that. Just like the last one, you can unclip this. Then you have this giant game bag to carry decoys into the field or carry a turkey out of the field. And it's like a waterproof material that I'm sure you could just spray out with a hose. All the blood and anything else is gonna come out with it. It does have a Velcro pocket here. Guessing you could put your hydration bladder in there, although I don't see a designated port like the other ones had for the hose to come through. Or you could just put some additional gear in there, extra gloves or maybe a small jacket even. Then lastly, has some orange come down. Make sure you don't get popped in the butt while you're walking around in the woods. But this is a super feature-rich vest. If I'm hunting on private land especially, where I'm not gonna be running around too terribly much, this is probably the vest I will be using. And the best part about this, it's a little more expensive than the other two, but if you want to use it without the kickstand, all it takes is unvelcroing 3 or 4 straps, slides right out, and you can run this vest with all the different pockets and features that it has without the kickstand. And then if you are going to hunt a spot where you know you're not going to have a good spot to set up against a tree or a log or something like that, you just put the kickstand back in, you're good to go. It's pretty versatile. You can take it out, save that weight, be more mobile without having to buy multiple different turkey vests. If you have questions on any of these 3 turkey vests, drop those down below in the comments. But remember, use the code NSO18 at checkout. Save yourself some money. Any of these 3 turkey vests have my full confidence, and I recommend whatever one works best for your hunting style. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Good luck in the turkey woods, and I'll see you in the next video.